across the screen.
I see glory and surely the presence
A hot
of
dog.
love.
I'm a Flash.
That was you. So how's it going?
Okay.
Slow but steady.
And love's grace? No his, no her. No his, no her. Okay.
I can feel love's mighty power.
I can feel love's mighty power and love's grace.
Morning, Uni.
Around us, I see
Good morning,
the presence of love is in this place.
There. I think we can.
Hey.
Oh, thanks.
Good. You're welcome. Very
Morning,
good.
Tabitha.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tabitha.
It's great to see you in your pink.
Our day is now complete. We've got Tabitha in pink and Dewey forehead. Peeking over the elevator marker.
1, 2.
Oh. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. So good morning again, everybody. It looks like there's a lot of activity in the church. Everybody's greeting everybody, giving hugs. I see the hugs. So can't get much better than that. And it sounded like Nancy Lynn may be doing some singing this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I saw Sharon maybe on the front row earlier. And Sky is back today. Although my message from Sky went into my trash folder. I don't know. Didn't like
And here at Unity, we ring the bell and light our candle to remind ourselves of the Christ Spirit that we each carry within us. And now if you'll speak with me our opening statement, you will find that in your bulletin. We'll say it together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. And let's take just a moment as we become centered in the sacred space this morning. And now please affirm it with me once more. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And so it is. Our songs will be led by Jim Snyder, who I love and follow on Facebook, and my brain goes blank when I get up here, accompanied by Nancy Lynn and Jeff. Thank you, guys.
Stand in your team. As always, we're going to hold the sword because we're going to do a little bit different this morning.
Is it louder? There we go. We're going to do surely the presence a little bit different this morning. Instead of saying the presence of God is in this place, the presence of love is in this place. I can feel love's mighty power and love's grace. Okay? Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel love's mighty power and love's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on its face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel love's mighty power and love's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on his face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Did you like that? Let's go to number 17 in the hymnal. Another one in the hymnal, 122, please. 122.
This is a favorite. Love, love, love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love, love, love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Joy, joy is the answer. Joy is the answer. Joy is the way. Joy, joy, joy is the answer. Joy is the answer. Joy is the way. Peace is the answer. Peace is the answer. Peace is the way. Peace, peace, peace is the answer. Peace is the answer. Peace is the way.
We have one more. You can sit down and sing it if you like. You've got a little sheet there. We've done this before. Ron's done this, I've done this. We're going to do a little bit different today. You feel a different kind of beat there? So we have the sheet out there so you can follow along. But now we're not going to do the verse, we're not going to do the chorus. Keep your heads up for the chorus. Love is but a song we sing, fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing and you may not know why. Is all you need. Some may come and some may go. He will surely pass. When the one that's left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. And all you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. All you need, do it again. All you need is love. And all you need is love. And all you need is love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Yeah.
Here we go. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. So good to see everyone this morning, everyone in their beautiful smiles and it's sunny outside, and all we need is love, right? Awesome, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna try to calm down after that. Take a deep breath. Let's see. Got my glasses on my head. Have a lot of announcements today. Join the Zoomers for the after party. Hi, Zoomers. If you'd like, and your information to do that is on your inside sheet there. Let's see now. A Course in Miracles class continues on Mondays at 7 p.m., and that is on Zoom. It is led by the Reverend Kimberly McGinnis, and I'm sure she is wonderful in leading that because she's wonderful in everything she does since we've known her. Short time we've known her, but she's become part of the family. The book study group continues Thursday at 8, and that is with our wonderful Sky, whom we know and love for years and years and years. And Ron Soul's open mic, and he's not even here, but His Spirit's with us, right? And he will be leading that this Friday. So if you have any inkling that you might want to sing or try to sing or whatever, if you've never sang, that doesn't matter. He'll welcome you. And that's always fun. So the other things I have, let's see. That's the Course in Miracles. I had some notes here. What did I do with them? I don't know. Pam, what am I missing?
There's new booklets on the tables for Lent.
New booklets for Lent.
That starts on February 14th.
Thank you.
And Nancy Lynn only has 5 openings for her.
She does. Yeah, and our soup sale was a tremendous success.
Can you repeat that into the microphone?
Oh, yeah, the Healing Sound Bath is what, next Friday coming up?
February 16th.
The 15th, 16th, 16th, I can't hear. Okay, great, and she has 5 openings, so if you came last time, you know what a great time it was, so spiritual, yeah, so spiritual, and it's limited, so she's doing that once a month, and thank you so much. It's such a job for her. I said this morning to her to bring all those big, beautiful bowls and set all that up, and she just does it out of the goodness of her heart. So we do appreciate that. It's beautiful. Also, the soup sale was a tremendous success yesterday, and our Stephen Keith board president is going to tell us all about that.
How many stars? Addendum to today's musical message, all you need is love and soup. Because we have more. A+, 4 stars for the soup sale. We just want to appreciate and thank everyone who showed up Friday and Saturday to set up for the soup sale, run the soup sale, tear down yesterday, and clean up, and especially for those who prepared soup and came and ate soup and purchased soup. Glad to report that after expenses, we raised over $1,000 yesterday. And as a reminder, the board voted several years ago that all the money we raise from special events goes directly to pay down the mortgage, so that's another $1,000 on our growing thermometer here of money raised. And we did something a little different this year. We always sell out of soup, so we asked people to not only bring hot soups to enjoy yesterday, but make ahead soups that could be refrigerated or frozen and take out containers to go. So because of that, we sold a lot more soup yesterday, and we have some left over. So it's all been packaged and labeled. So when you leave the service today, come down through the activity room, and we've got small and large soups that are packaged and ready to go, and we'll be selling drinks as well. It's $5.50 for a small container and $7 for a large, $5.25. And they're labeled. We have clam chowder, we have mushroom barley, white chicken chili, red beans and rice, spicy and regular, so lots of good choices down there. So thanks again.
And our wonderful wildflower garden out here on the side, led by Miss Deb Meredith, thank you so much, and Melissa Schrader. So lovingly prepared wildflowers for all of us to plant in our gardens. So if you'd like some wildflowers, come up and get these from the little basket right here. There are information slips on what to do with them, and they are all native wildflowers. They won't cause you any weeds or any trouble. They'll just draw birds and bees and make everything more beautiful than it is. Okay. So the other thing I had, Pam had me a note here about the Zoomers' birthdays, and I don't see it. Here it is. George Wilson, no, that's last month. I'm really organized this morning, aren't I? I know. Soup hangover. I don't know. Pam, do you remember? Pam, will you come up here and do this for me? Oh, well. We'll find out before we sing the birthday song in the end. How's that? That's all I can mess up for this morning. Scott, it's your turn.
On to me. Greetings, good morning, welcome, bienvenido, shalom, assalamu alaikum, namaste, aloha, buongiorno, and kalamata. The light in me greets the light in you. My name is Sky Kirshner. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for letting me be your pastor, storyteller, guide, and friend. I want to welcome you to Unity of Kanawha Valley live and online. Thank you for being with us from wherever you are. We've got a couple first-time folks with us. Phil, would you introduce your niece to us?
This is my niece Jordan. She's working on her pre-law degree, and I strong-armed her into showing up today.
And I clarified with Jordan yesterday, it's not because she likes to argue, it's because she likes justice. So great, thank you for being here today, Jordan. And Amy, would you introduce your sister?
My sister, she's listening from Thames Valley.
Tell us her name again.
Jeannie.
Jeannie, from Thames Valley. Welcome, Jeannie. And trust me, that's the most embarrassment you'll have all day today, and you survived it, so thank you for being here. Next week, Barbie Dahlman is speaking. Any thoughts on what that might be on? The pen is in your hand.
Why not?
And look at that, the pen is in her hand as she's.
Write a love story.
Oh, the pen is in your hand. Why not write a love story? By the way, all love all the time. February is the month of love, so the pen is in your hand. Why not write a love story? And I'm going to be talking about love as a state of mind today. Danny Blair is Stone Rise. At Stone Rise doing rehab, he's pain-free. And not just because of the medicines, but because the bones are knitting together. So please continue to hold him in your thoughts and minds, and to give him a visit if you like. The after party will be on Zoom after the service. Join us, the Zoomers join us, they're already there, but if you'd like to join in, just dial in from your phone on your way home and you can listen to the discussion. Unity of Kanawha Valley is a special place. We come together to celebrate love. Love in its spiritual experience and love in the wisdom it provides us in its many forms. Unity promotes the idea that the light of God, the spirit of love, is within you and it's within all people. Not just people, but in everything. And that by practicing going within and resting within, you can discover this love within you. And in so doing, you can become a fuller expression of this love in the world. This love is at the source of all life and love and everything there is in the universe. If you came here today to learn spiritual practices of love, you're probably in the right place. We have a cafeteria philosophy. Take what you like, whatever helps you to learn to be more loving, and leave the rest. Today we will be looking at the idea of love as a state of mind. Affirmative prayer is a central part of what we're about here, so let's do that right now. Would you soften your gaze? Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Let a smile come to your face. Notice how that feels to just bring a smile to your face. Notice how that feels in your body. And would you say to yourself, I am safe, I am secure, I am surrounded by love. I am a living expression of love. And if you would imagine you are standing in front of someone you love or have loved. This person might be separated by time, they might be separated by geography, they might be separated by the veil of life and death. But conjure them up in your mind's eye, look them in the eye. Let gratitude for them fill your heart. And would you say to them, thank you for loving me today. Thank you for loving me today. All right, and now the time that you've been anxiously awaiting, please stand up. And if we've got any kids that want to join me, Violet, you want to come up with Phil? And Layla, do you want to join me up here? And that's okay. Come on up, Layla. One more. We're just going to balance on one foot, everybody, as you're able. All right. Are you bouncing on one foot? Oh, you're not even moving. Oh my gosh. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. His face was white as snow. Okay, other foot. Thank you. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder you're doing fantastic. All right, let's hear it for Layla. Stay standing, stay standing. Yawn, stretch, turn to someone, find somebody who's sitting alone and say to them, thank you for loving me today.
Thank you for loving me today.
Thank you for loving me today. I love all the hearts that Dawn's sending out.
I thought we were supposed to be muted earlier. Breaking the rules again.
Thank you for loving me today.
Yeah.
Thank you for loving me today.
All right.
Thanks you all for loving me
I
today.
want to thank each of you for being here today. Your being here today is part of the world that we're creating. Every small thing you do today makes a difference in your life and in the life of those around you. What you do today makes a difference. Who you love today makes a difference. What you let go of today makes a difference. It all makes a difference. I want to thank the universe, love, God, the source of all life, for another day on this amazing journey. And I want to thank everyone who's made this service possible. For Pam, our multitasking magician of administrative magic. For Jim and Jeff, and Nancy, our hardworking heroes of heavenly and humor and harmony. For Peggy, our persistent pronouncer of pleasing proclamations. For Ernie Kessel, who is our hostess, our heavenly hostess of online hospitality. For Rich and Bobby Lee. For being our zeroed-in Zohans of the Zoom Zone. I'm not sure who our daily word reader is today. Who's our daily word? Nancy. Nancy Lynn's going to read the daily word. And for our junior bell ringer today, Violet, along with Jordan and Phil. So thank you for ringing our bell, Violet. And I want to encourage you to spend some time in silence every day. That's the same as spending some time in love every day. And I want to remind you that God is our source. Barbie, the pen is in your hand. and a new day is dawning for us all. Let's spend some more time in appreciating this present moment. So you might just begin by noticing the sounds in the room. It's interesting, we can close our eyes, but we can't close our ears as easily. So we just take in the sounds of the room as part of the present moment. You might notice the experience of being in your body. Feel free to adjust and just notice the experience of having and being a body. You might notice the experience of breathing. This experience of receiving and taking in everything we need right here in the present moment. This exchange that happens within our lungs and the giving out, the letting go. We're exchanging something that we need for something that the plants and trees in our world need. It's a beautiful circulation of prosperity. They give us freely what we need, we give back freely what they need. You might notice this experience of your heart beating, this experience of being alive here in the present moment. Jesus said, "Seek ye the kingdom of God." The kingdom of God is in your midst. It is among you. It is at hand in the present moment. And it is within. And so we practice going within to explore and experience what this teaching might mean for us. The kingdom is within. Surely it's something bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. One of the qualities of this kingdom is the quality of prosperity. Everything that's needed is right here, right now. We can attune our minds to this consciousness of prosperity and sufficiency. This moment is enough. Nothing is lacking. Nothing is lacking. This kingdom has the quality of healing and wholeness. of both cure and acceptance of what is, of resurrection and of those things that we thought were dead in us coming to life again. The sense of wholeness that every cell in our body knows what it needs to do to move us in the direction of greater health, greater well-being, greater wholeness, greater love. This kingdom has the quality of connection and relationship. Of love and of failures to love. Of connection and of impasse. And these qualities of forgiveness, of reconciliation, of restoration, of broken relationships. These are the qualities of the kingdom. We nurture these capacities and these qualities within us as we seek the kingdom within. And the kingdom has the quality of guidance, of whispers, of a still small voice that speaks within us and all around us, providing us with greater guidance, a greater sense of justice, a greater sense of love and connection, wholeness and prosperity in our lives and in the world. And it's from this place that we reach out to anyone, anywhere, in any need or trouble. Those running for their lives, those in hiding, those who are captive, hostage, trapped, with no safe place to go. Those who are plagued by the past, anxious for the future, suffering from addiction, suffering from the consequences of their own actions. Those who are healing, those who are in pain. We reach out to you in our mind's eye. We see you surrounded by light and by love. We know that God's presence of love is spread out equally throughout the universe and throughout this world. And the consciousness of God's presence is possible in all places, in all circumstances, to all people, with no exceptions. And for this, we are grateful.
Joy. Joy is mine through all the seasons of life. Throughout my life, Joy is always part of me. Like the sun that is always shining, even when obscured by clouds, joy is there in my happiest moments and also during my darker times. It keeps me present to life as it unfolds, responsive and adaptive, accepting what I cannot change and having the courage to change what I can. Much more than a feeling, joy is part of me, a way to feel the presence of God and live from my spirituality. Joy is the anchor that keeps me rooted in peace and wholeness, and the wings that help me soar through the open skies of imagination and choice. My spiritual identity has its foundation in the divine idea of joy, and I carry it with me wherever I go and in everything I do. You show me the path of life. In your presence, there is fullness of joy. From the Psalms.
These were the sweetest words I'd ever heard. My heart could barely take it in, like water offered to the lips of a tired and thirsty man. 'Cause it's a tangled web I've woven. I don't know all the reasons, but it amazes me to wake up to your mercy every morning. So I'm standing here spinning round in the fields of freedom, and I'm still alive and reaching out, and I can feel the healing. 'Cause you say, come on out, come on out, come on out, come on out, out in the open. Come on out, come on out, come on out, come on out, into the light. There is no jury, there is no judge. Ready and waiting are the steady arms of love. For the sake of never making waves, I kept my secrets to myself. No one ever really knew the darker shadows of my heart. But I will be a witness. There's nothing in me dark enough. The power of forgiveness cannot rescue from the deep. So I'm standing here spinning round in the fields of freedom, and I'm still alive and reaching out, and I can feel the healing. When you say, come on out, come on out, come on out, come on out, out in the open. Come on out, come on out, come on out, come on out, into the light. There is no jury, there is no judge. Ready and waiting are the steady arms of love. So I'm standing here spinning round in the fields of freedom, and I'm still alive and reaching out, and I can feel the healing. Come on out, come on out, come on out, come on out, out in the open. Come on out, come on out, come on out, come on out, into the light. There is no jury, there is no judge, ready and waiting are the steady arms of love. Out in the open, out in the light. Come on out, come on out.
Jim, you and Jeff are bringing it today. Tell us about that song. Did you write that song?
No.
Who wrote that song?
I heard Amy Grant do that song.
Amy Grant. That's a beautiful song. Thank you for that. Well, Ron couldn't be here, but he did send me some funny church announcements. The Fasting and Prayer Conference will include meals and snacks, just in case you were nervous about that. Ladies, don't forget the rummage sale. It's a chance to get rid of those things not worth keeping around the house. Bring your husbands. Don't let worry kill you off. Let the church help. And the sermon this morning will be Jesus Walks on the Water. The sermon tonight, Searching for Jesus. Put your hand on your heart, please, and repeat after me. This is my heart. Through it, I am connected to my neighbor, to my source, and to myself. I am learning to trust it in all things, and I am grateful. Well, we've got the month of love, and I want to begin with two thoughts from the Fillmores, Bible quotes that I think are probably, I'm guessing, the most important ones or their favorites. The first is, be still and know. Be still and know that I am God, from one of the Psalms. I'm guessing that's one of their favorites because when you go up into the Unity Prayer Tower, as Sharon and I and Pam did one year, many years ago, and you're in the prayer room where there's a 24-hour prayer chaplain praying over all the prayer requests that come in, on the wall, it says, be still and know. And the other sentence comes from Romans, Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 12. The sentence is, be transformed by a renewing of your mind. Be transformed by a renewal of your mind. Today I want to talk about love as a state of mind, not just an emotion, but a state of mind, a state of consciousness. Your mind can be renewed by a return to this state of love. Love is, among other things, an energy. It's a vibrational way of being in the world. I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but we'll get there. This state of mind, I think of as a sort of semi-mystical state of mind. It's different from the fight or flight state of mind. A different translation of that same passage from Romans, do not conform, or actually this is the line right before it, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So what is the pattern of this world? Many of you know that I travel quite a bit, or I think I travel a bit. There are certainly other people that travel more than me, but that means I'm in airports fairly often. And I'm usually telling stories about the experience of being in airports. Why? Because airports are a great experience of the fight or flight response of humanity. And I realized, oh, that's a great pun, fight or flight, because if you fight, you're not going to flight, right, on an airline these days. Just watch any TikTok video and you'll see what happens if you fight with the flight attendants or the gate people or all that. But people are in frequently a scarcity mentality, right? I've only got this amount of time before my plane takes off and I've got to get there. And if you're in my way, I'm going to go. I saw in the airport in Atlanta last week, I'd never seen this before. People now have carry-on bags that have little motors and skateboards attached to them, and they sit on the bag and they're kind of whizzing through the thing. I thought, surely this is going to be illegal. Like, you need a license for this. Yeah. Let's stop off at the club and have a couple drinks, then we'll go out riding on our luggage for a while. Part of the reason I bring up these airport experiences is because before I moved to West Virginia, I lived in New York City and Manhattan. Before I moved to Manhattan, I lived in New Jersey. Here's what my work day was like. I would get up at 6. I would drive 5 miles to the Willowbrook Mall where I would catch a bus. The bus would take me to the 42nd Street to, what's it called? Not Grand Central Station, it's the Port Authority. And then I would walk through several blocks to get to the subway, take the subway, and then walk 8 blocks to my office. 90 minutes one way, 90 minutes back the other way. A lot of humanity flying by in all of these interactions. Here in West Virginia, not much humanity, right? I go to the garage, I push the button, I'm completely insulated. I get to the office when I was going to an office, or I get here, I walk, 50 feet? Maybe I run into a squirrel, but like I'm not having to deal with people, right? But when you're dealing with people in public transportation and you don't have a car around you, right? There's some vulnerability to that experience, right? Every step on the way, it was exhausting just to get to work and then exhausting to get back home. Thomas Merton, living in New York City in Greenwich Village, describes having these mystical experiences walking on the sidewalk through the mass of humanity. He's having a different kind of experience than a fight or flight experience. He's not worried about the vulnerability of bumping into people and people pickpocketing him or all the things that could happen when you're in public places like that. He's walking through in a mystical state of mind. And you can see it on the sidewalk. People have different energies. You can see people that you give a wider berth to, right? I'm just walking, I'm crossing the street here. I can see this guy coming. I'm a little bit nervous, or I'm very nervous. And then other people who are walking through with a smile on their face. I don't know why, but there's a different energy. One of my favorite, I was in the Village one time and there was a guy who was drunk. And he was asking for money, and here's what he said. He said, "Somebody give me $1 so I can stay drunk." And I gave him $1 because I appreciated his integrity. He wasn't saying we ran out of gas somewhere and we've got kids in the car. He was saying, I just want to stay drunk. You know, the heart, it's an electrical impulse. Oh, was that you? Could have been. The heart has this electrical impulse every beat. You know, you can measure the electrical. In fact, you can measure the electrical impulse. I was reading something today. Within 3 feet of the human body, you can still pick up that electrical impulse. Your physicality makes a difference. Your consciousness makes a difference in terms of what you're putting out into the world. I had, and I think some of you may have had, when I was a kid, some kind of quasi-mystical experiences. They weren't related to any religious thing. They were just like, I remember being outside one time and I was lying in the grass, and I don't know if there was a drop of water or something, and like the world just kind of opened up. If other people had this kind of sense where you're just something like your consciousness is just in an amazing place. The renewing and the transforming of our minds. How can we do this? Sometimes it happens spontaneously, like when I was a kid, or like when Thomas Merton, he's not a monk when he's having this experience. He's just walking down the street of New York and he's having a mystical experience, and he starts being curious about that and wandering. Van Morrison, in an interview, describes his kind of Celtic, quasi-mystical Celtic spirituality. He says, how was it when you were a kid? He says, I just got stoned on nature. I didn't need anything else, he says. And if you think of the words of the song, if you remember the song, and it stoned me to my soul, do you know that song? He in an interview, he said, well, the origin of that song, I was about 12 years old. He's from Northern Ireland, so he's out in the world in Ireland. And we used to go to a place called Ballystockard to fish. And we stopped in a village on the way to this place, and I went to this little stone house, and there was an old man with dark, weathered, beaten skin. And we asked him if he had any water. And he gave us some water, which he said he had gotten from the stream out back. And we drank some, and everything seemed to stop for me. Time stood still. For 5 minutes, everything was just really quiet. And I was in this other dimension. And that's what the song is about. So, how can you get to this state of mind? Well, get some of that water. Mary Louise is here, and she turned me on to this book by Jean Bolte Taylor. I'll send out the TED Talk later on this afternoon, her stroke of insight. She arrives at this place through having a stroke. She's a brain researcher, and she has a stroke, and the stroke turns off the left side of her brain, which releases only the right side of her brain. The right side of the brain is the side of the brain that says everything is fine and you are connected to everyone and everything. It's the brain physiology of the mystical experience. It's the brain physiology of the love experience. And as she's having, the stroke took place over 4 hours, and she's watching it happen, and she's saying, oh, how lucky I am. I'm a brain researcher, and I'm getting to see what happens when somebody has a stroke. And then she says, what the heck? I'm dying. And then she says, no, it's amazing. It's beautiful. Then she says, no, I got to call somebody. And her brain's kind of going back and forth. And then the left side shuts off completely, and all she's left with is this experience of expansive love. She writes about this in her second book, Whole Brain Living. The qualities of this part of the brain: expansive, open, experiential, risk-taking, fearless, friendly, kind, empathic, loves unconditionally, forgiving, trusts, supports, grateful, playful, joyful, going with the flow, experiencing awe, feeling inspired, curious, creative, collective, sharing, having a sense of equality, hopeful. These are that experience of the state of mind of love. So the big question for us is, how can I get to this place without having a stroke, without having drugs or hallucinogens, or that special water in Ireland? And I think what the Fillmores found is that you can attain this state through prayer. They're not the only ones who found this. Certainly a number of spiritual practitioners have found this. And here at Unity, through affirmative prayer. My favorite, the one that we said today, I am safe and secure and surrounded by love. When I first came across this affirmative prayer, I repeated it several hundred times a day to myself. I'm inviting that right hemisphere part of my brain to, if not take over, at least be balance off the fight or flight fear center of my brain. And so repeating, I am safe and secure and surrounded by love, over and over, and feeling that. Or if I want to really get into the right side of my brain, I let go of the words completely. And I just see myself surrounded by light and love, because the right side of the brain is the imagistic side. It doesn't care about words. So I just picture, what would it be like to be surrounded by light and by love? You know the law of attraction. Whatever you focus on with your mind, you get more of. If you're thinking about buying some new shoes, or you're thinking about buying a new car or a used car, let's say I'm thinking about buying a Volkswagen Beetle, because I remember doing this, and all of a sudden I saw Volkswagen Beetles everywhere, right? It was everywhere, yeah, right? That thing that you want, all of a sudden the world kind of opens up, and it's probably not mystical, it's just I'm more attuned to that curved shape as I'm out on the road. What you focus on becomes what you notice in the world. If you want to become more loving, bring that state of love into your mind. Love is a state of consciousness. It's the state of mind of Jesus most of the time, I would guess. Not just of Jesus, but as I said, other spiritual masters have discovered this too. This is not exclusive to any one religion or set of beliefs. It's more of a spiritual kind of sense, not exactly a religious experience. The early Christians were interested in this state of mind. They called it the mind of Christ, the mind of Christ. Paul talks about it in the Romans, in that same letter that I mentioned before, where the be ye transformed. I'm going to cut to the chase a little bit so I can end a little bit early. Place your love of God in the flow of love. In the Message version of Romans, the Message translation, verse starting with chapter 12, I'm going to replace the word God with the word love. Here's what you do. Love is helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life. You're sleeping, you're eating, you're going to work, you're walking around life, and place the day, place your experience of the day before love as an offering. Embrace what love does for you. Embracing what love does for you is the best thing you can do to bring more love in, to bring gratitude in. Don't become so well adjusted in your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on love. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what love wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you always dragging you down with fear, God, love, brings out the best in you and develops a well-formed maturity in you. And then Paul writes, I'm speaking to you out of deep gratitude for all that love has given to me. Marianne Williams, in Return to Love, referring to the Christ mind, says, enlightened beings, Jesus and others, exist in a state that is only potential in the rest of us. The Christ mind is merely the perspective of unconditional love. You and I have the Christ mind in us. You have the Christ mind in you right now, as much as Jesus did. The difference between him and us is that we are tempted to deny it. What is the Christ mind? The mind, the awareness that everything is one, that everything is love, including you and including me. All right, well, I got a couple pages more, but I think that's enough for now. So in closing, I just want to suggest, do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, especially to the fight or flight aspects of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Amen. All right.
Thank you. Let us say our offering prayer together. Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, I trust God, and I am grateful.
Sometimes I stop and wonder, why can't I let myself enjoy the space I'm in and all the wonderful places I've been? My eyes are on the future. I can't think about the past. My aspirations always exceed my grasp. You got to reach a little bit higher when that light within becomes a fire. Hey, oh, you got to grow. You got to reach a little bit higher to get a hold on all that you desire. Stretch your soul and you'll never grow old. When the habits of a lifetime become a painful cage, you want to break out, but you don't know how to change. Now you may have a vision, or you may have a friend who will come to you and say these same words again. You got to reach a little bit higher when that light within becomes a fire. Hey, oh, you got to grow. You got to reach a little bit higher to get a hold on all that you desire. Stretch your soul and you'll never grow old. Wait, little Jeff. A little bit higher when that light within becomes a fire. Hey, oh, you got to grow. You got to reach a little bit higher. Get a hold on all that you desire. stretch your soul, and you'll never grow. You got to reach. Sing that with me. You got to reach. What you got to do? You got to reach. You got to reach. One more time. You got to reach. You got to reach. Yeah, you got to reach. You got to reach.
This morning, we give thanks for divine abundance. We see each and every person who gives, recognizing that as they give, so shall they receive. We bless these offerings, knowing they will go forth to do their perfect work, and that we are blessed. And so it is. Amen. Let us form a circle for our peace song on the front rows.
Okay, who has a birthday besides the Zoomers? Tina Bell is coming up on the 11th, and Lindsay Wilson is on the 13th. So,
Can I add something to my?
Yes,
So
of
a
course.
PS to my message.
P.S.
I'm just so grateful to this congregation and to the unity message, because taking in this idea that love is all there is, I can now walk through an airport and not feel nervous about whether I'm going to miss my flight or not. Maria and I went down to Costa Rica last week. We missed the connection. We stayed an extra day in Atlanta. It was fine. I assumed that's the way it was supposed to be. Not nervous about it. Coming back, 5-hour delay, getting into Charleston, it was fine. I figured, yeah, love's got this, right? I would not have been able to have done that 15 years ago. So I want to thank you all for being such great teachers and for being such wonderful models of this idea of love.
And we want to thank you for leading our church into where it is today.
Thank you.
All right, does anyone here have a birthday they'd like to share? No? Okay, we can sing. It's coming up.
I'm